Dead radio, coming back to life. Dead radio is coming back to life. Dead radio, come on back to life. Come on back to life. Dead radio.
I like this, and I like that. I like this, and I like that. But I like that about that. But I like that about that. I like this, and I like that. But I like that about that.
I'll put it on my web show here. What kind of truck is that? Badass. How old is it? 72. I don't want to do the math. That's badass, man. Cool. Thanks a lot, bro.
What web show is that?
The baby shapeshifter into a cat, back into a baby, into a woman, back into your baby. Baby shapeshifter. Bombshell Body Art. BombshellBodyArt.com. Do you have a private or commercial photo shoot? You need Bombshell Body Art. Do you have a live event? You need BombshellBodyArt.com. You're listening to the sounds of AJ Fritscher. Thankfully, he has time to chat with us. Welcome, and I am JB Webb. Welcome to the JB Webb Show. We have on the line with us Mr. AJ Fritscher. Good day, sir.
Hey, how's it going, JB?
Doing great, man. Thanks so much, for taking a little time to rap with us.
No problem, man. Brother.
Good. So we were coming in to a really cool song you put together, a Trip in Barcelona.
Yeah, Trip in Barcelona. It's a little, about a 6 or 5 piece guitar.
I like it.
Put together. I originally had words for it, but I didn't bother with lyrics after I listened to it. I was like, it would have killed it if I had.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I love the sound and the feel of it. But I mean, that's kind of cool that we're kind of talking about that now. What I think is cool. Okay, we got a little backstory on you, right? I mean, you're from Louisiana, came over here maybe couple decades ago, maybe, kind of grew up here in this area and embraced this culture. And so you've been involved in music the whole time, or what's your deep connection to music? Because I know you're working with a lot of local, well-known people around here. You're getting some great exposure. But maybe you could talk about how you first got into music, and then I know AJ and Evolution is something that you're probably always going to work on because of the name, what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I first came into music realistically at a young age because my grandfather was a musician and he played guitar all the time.
So you're always around it, yeah.
Exactly, I was always around it, but I never touched guitar. I was like that was too complicated for me.
Okay, so what'd you first get into?
Keyboards and piano really was my first instrument that I self-taught myself to play a little bit. And then I moved into trumpet in high school band, not high school, but middle school.
Right.
And then I kind of faded out of that. And then I moved back to keyboard in high school and actually took classes. Got to learn to read music from that.
Okay.
And then I moved straight from out of that into picking up a guitar, and that's, as with most musicians, has to do with not a girl.
Oh man, yeah. Well, it's a good way to spend your time if you don't have the other. Yes.
Instead of paying to send me to therapy, it was cheaper to buy me a guitar. and she was
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Well, it's definitely got to be healthier, less expensive. You're right.
Yeah, and it was about 15 when I first picked up the guitar. I had been writing songs since I was 14, but never really put any true music to it. And but from the time I was 16, I had actually been writing real songs, and I recorded some. They're on old tapes. I haven't gotten them put over to digital yet. I'd love to do that.
Well, that'd be a cool project, yeah. So back then, you went through all the bands and working with other people and stuff like that, I'd imagine?
Oh, yes. I was in several different bands. Actually, one that we played around town from like 94 to 98 before we broke up. It was called, well, there was a couple different names. It was Dot Out Rev to begin with, and then we became Ramp 45. It was the sign that you see when you go off of an off-ramp.
Okay, right. Right, okay.
So, yeah, we changed our name to that, and then that just kind of fell apart because all the guys were older. They were at least 15, 20 years older than I was.
Oh, okay.
I was 18 when I first joined with them. I was maybe 22 or 25 or something when we split. But and then after that, I gave up on music. It was dead end. It was nowhere. I was like, yeah, the scene had pretty much crashed. There was a great local scene here when we were going, but we just didn't get our original material out.
Right.
It was great to do covers at parties and stuff, but we had a lot of original material.
Right.
And we didn't get around to it. I took most of it with me because I wrote some of it.
Okay.
And some of those songs are found on my first album that I released about a year ago. It's called Work in Progress. Be found on iTunes. It's available for purchase on my Reverb Nation page as well.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll put that info up there probably at the end.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, and then from that, it just, I petered out. I gave up, and years later, after getting in the corporate world and getting nowhere with that, I said, you know what? I got nothing to lose. Economy sucks.
Right.
I see these guys out there making at least, $200 a week, playing some songs in a bar.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I could do that. And sure enough, it was scary, but I got pushed out the door by my wife. She told me to get out there, don't come back home because the place I went to had
Unless I see lipstick on your shirt. Don't come back until you're a rock star, is that what she said?
Yeah, basically, something to that effect.
That was funny.
She said, don't come home unless I see you on the internet, because they were broadcasting live.
Oh, cool,
that
okay.
To me was scary enough, and then I get there, and there was like 5 people in the whole place. I was like, okay, cool, I can do
You're like, oh, damn.
And I had played live before, but when you're with a band, it's a whole different monster when you go solo. You feel
Right.
and you feel completely stripped down. It's just you, that guitar, and your voice, and that's
Right.
all you got.
Right.
All you got. And
Little change in your pocket jingling? Yeah.
Exactly. Change in your pocket, a pick or two.
Right. Maybe a rubber band hooked up to a box over there you can occasionally pluck. But
Exactly.
no, well, you got a real. Now I'm kind of talking out of class because I've never seen you perform live. I've seen some information. I've heard a bunch of your music, and besides that, I mean, JB Web Show. Most people know. I think this stuff is cool, so I want to get it out there and spread it out there. But my point is you must be very gregarious when you're performing live. You crowd synergy. You're into that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The more people that are there, the more. In the end, but I've always been of the mindset of I'll give 110% for no people. I'll give 110% for a million people.
Just in the studio, yeah.
The point is, if I'm hired for a show, I look at it as this is a business. This venue hired me to work at their venue, entertain their crowd.
Right.
I'm on stage. I will have maybe one or two afterwards. Maybe
Right.
3 or
Sure.
4, yeah.
Sure. Well, all the greats, yeah. I mean,
have strict policy against. Yeah, I treat it as I would if I was on someone else's clock.
right.
Even advertising the business and everything, letting people know where you're going to be at. And they treat you good, then why not throw them a bone every now and then?
Yeah. So now, listen, this is a good way to segue because people find out where you're playing live gigs.
AJ and Evolution is kind of my main solo thing. It encompasses everything from an acoustic solo act to a full, just start making crazy sounds. I can do that stuff too. It's just whatever.
Right.
And then I have Ball and Chain, which is not. I mean, it's a joint effort. It was offered to me by the one and only Bubba Bass Wilson.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy, and he discovered me back maybe about a year or two ago. And we've known each other since 2000, but he never really knew my music ability until I got a chance to actually perform at an event that the Monsters Militia, and which are cool. I'm so thankful to them for their support. They've basically put me where I'm at today.
Cool. Okay, so cool. So meanwhile, all right. So you're doing that, and it's good to be gracious and thankful. But you're also doing something cool. It's called Evo Fab Records, right?
Yeah, Evo Fab Records, and that's my return to the music scene in general, the independent music scene.
Yeah.
Mainly local. I want to stick with local artists. That's what we want to do. We're willing to help artists anywhere. I mean, that's just we're not gonna lock that door. We want to. If you have substance and merit, material is good. Yeah, I mean.
So tell me more about that. What does that entail? Like helping them? You mentioned something about maybe networking and then maybe even production, right?
Getting them out onto the social network sites, linking their sites to the Reverb Nation site that we have.
Okay,
where
cool.
We can manage all aspects of their career, basically, from getting them booked to selling records and producing T-shirts and everything for them right there from the site. And we can eventually get to the point where they don't need us anymore. They can take off, fly on their own.
Right. Okay. Cool.
We're not locking anyone into any contracts. We don't want to do that.
So it's not like
the corporate way of things.
not like a regular record label or anything. It's I think you mentioned it's non-profit.
Because we can't finance people.
That's
we
pretty
have
cool.
The money to do that. We can finance.
All right. So.
I've seen so many great acts in the city. It
Right.
amazes me
Right.
that no one's gotten them yet.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's good. So you're creating another avenue, a conduit for people that are musically inclined to get their work out there, some production, some networking. That's Evo Fab Records. Sorry, and you can find that on Facebook. You can connect through Reverb Nation. I'm going to pop all this stuff up there. But before we bust out of here, AJ, you shared with me you got an album coming out in a little while. Any information on that you can share?
The new album is called Egotistical is what the new album is. And it's just going to be a short album. I did 10 tracks for the first one. I'm thinking more like 5 or 6 for this one.
Cool.
I'll sell it at a reasonably low price, and most likely the MP3s will be available for free. So.
Oh, cool. All right, well, good. Well, listen, AJ, I'm going to play us out with a little more that song I like. It's a trip in Barcelona. I'm going to pop all the info up there, how people can get a hold of you. It's AJ Fritscher, and AJ in evolution@gmail.com for booking, for information. We've been talking with AJ Fritscher. Thanks a lot, man. Hang on the line for me, AJ. I'm going to bust this out with some trip in Barcelona. The rest of it, please enjoy.